Today I am going to review the super hit movie Don't Worry Darling. Every light, ladylike cocktail dress, convertible, and clinking of a martini glass in Olivia Wilde's Don't Worry Darling is a faultless representation of retro chic. Victory is a suburban haven with mid-century modern homes that are simple and host bawdy dinner parties. Who wouldn't want to live there? Young, gorgeous families have all of their needs and wants satisfied under the perfect glimmer of the Southern California sun. But something about this seems strange. This much is immediately clear to us, and Alice, the exuberant party girl portrayed by Florence Pugh, grows more wary of everything. Yes, it's fun to shop with the other housewives all afternoon and to have her gorgeous husband, Jack, serve her at the dinner table before he's even had a bite of the roast and mashed potatoes. Harry Styles, his various talents, and his challenges will be discussed again in a moment. However, there is such a shrug of disgust and disappointment when it is revealed what that something is that, looking back, it almost ruins the entire occasion. I think I sighed loudly, "Ugh, really? That's it," was asked at a recent press screening. Knowing the truth exposes Katie Silverman's script's false assumptions and raises more questions than it does answers. She also wrote Booksmart, Wilde's delightfully filthy comedy, which has the emotional truth and focus that this thriller lacks. The patriarchal dictatorship that passes for marital bliss is examined in Don't Worry Darling. This collection doesn't contain many novel ideas, therefore neither does this one. You can see how the various components were mixed from excellent source material, a little bit of the Stepford Wives, a lot of Mad Men, and a handful of movies whose names we wouldn't reveal here. It also reminds me of Pugh's intense performance in Midsommar, one of the major roles that made her one of the most talented young actors of her generation. Those memories return when I watch Pugh play the clear-eyed voice of reason once more, and watch her get gaslit when she tries to warn everyone about the ominous undercurrents amid a joyous environment. When will the public begin to take Florence Pugh seriously? Despite Styles' strength, it is clear that she wasn't yet capable of handling this work. He would make a fantastic pop star. He clearly wants to portray himself as hollow and beautiful, and with his sharp features and trim physique, he certainly fits the bill. He's adored by the camera. He is clearly outmatched when he needs to muster the emotional weight required for his most difficult confrontations with Pugh. Shia LaBeouf was once considered for the part, which is interesting, but it's difficult to picture him in this setting as the sincere, developing young businessman. He strikes me as being incredibly intimidating and imposing. The story of Don't Worry Darling, which centers on a tiny number of progressive families who moved to a planned Palm Springs community to create their own society in the middle of the 1950s, at the very least, fits with Styles' appeal. It's a fresh strategy. Gemma Chan's glamorous Shelley convinces her guests that there is a better way at one of the movie's several soirees. She is married to Frank, the town's founder, who is portrayed by Chris Pine with the crafty purr of a self-satisfied cult leader. It is supposed to be the allure that every day is the same. The men leave for work in the morning with lunchboxes in hand on their way to the Victory Project, where they have top-secret jobs they can't discuss with their spouses. The women, on the other hand, kiss them goodbye before starting a day of cleaning the bathtub and vacuuming, perhaps going to a dance class, and surely having a few drinks during the day. Wilde assumes the role of Bunny, Alice's best friend and next-door neighbor, complete with cat-eye makeup and a mischievous grin. She adds a little humor and swagger to this horrifyingly scary world. However, as time passes, Alice begins to question her reality. She becomes more uneasy as she learns more about this place, going from apprehensive suspicion to actual fear, and Pugh makes it all very real. She experiences sights that come to her in impressionistic wisps and nightmares that shake her awake at night. Over time, Wilde developed an unhealthy reliance on specific pictures, such as close-ups of eyes or black and white movies of dancers in the Busby Berkeley vein. They become routine and uninteresting rather than terrifying. The oppressive score by John Powell grows heavier and slower, continually telling us how to feel. You're clearly coming up with something more creative than what actually happens to describe this predicament. Ironically, Frank and Shelley's advice to their loyal citizens is one of control, the need to keep chaos under control, retain symmetry and togetherness, and get along with one another. However, as Don't Worry Darling reaches its climactic and accidentally amusing conclusion, Wilde loses her knowledge of the issue. The pacing is a little off throughout, but she rushes to solve the largest mystery with a lot of confusing and unsettling exposition dump.